Told y'all before. I guess I'm gonna have to keep telling you. Get your popcorn ready. Gamecock Nation, stand up.
YouTube, what's going on? What's happening? It's your boy Cypher Da MC here once again. Into the Cypher. Gamecock Nation, stand up. Hopefully everyone's having a good day. We're going to talk about Gamecock stuff. That's right. So here it is, people. We're coming up on the spring practice, couple of weeks. You know, all the hubbub as far as, transfers and recruits and all that sort of good stuff. All that's pretty much died down. Now it's just a matter of getting the talent in and pretty much building on the momentum that Shane Beamer has pretty much, started last year. But let me just address something real quickly. I know the Gamecock fan base, we're hungry for to win. We're hungry for wins. And I know we're not going to, win the SEC East next year.
Nope.
We're not going to challenge Georgia for a spot in the SEC championship.
Oh, I doubt it.
I know we're not going to win the SEC championship. I understand it's a little early to say that. I know that we're most likely not going to go undefeated next year. We're not going to go 12-0.
Spot on.
I know that we're not going to more than likely, get into the college football playoff. And last but certainly not least, I know we're most likely not going to win a national championship.
Wait, what'd you just say?
So that just leaves one question. Why not? Why not us? Stranger things have happened in the college football world. But why not us? Why can't we challenge Georgia for the SEC East? Why can't we make it to the SEC championship game? Why can't we win the SEC East championship game? Why can't we beat Clemson this year? Why can't we beat Texas A&M this year?
Ooh.
Anything is possible. Now, I say all that to say this. Many will look back at my prediction of the Gamecocks going into the Clemson game and be like, oh my gosh, you said that they were going to win. You laid a big egg and, the Gamecocks laid an egg. They didn't do this. They didn't do that. And you're darn tootin'. You're darn skippy. We didn't help our cause against Clemson. Clemson was not at their full strength. Let's be totally honest. They were not offensively overpowering us. They defensively pretty much took us out of the game.
Yeah, that's true.
We didn't help them, but then again, not to take anything away from Clemson. Hey, defensively, they wore us out. They put a whooping on us. They sent us to the showers quite early. But I get it. South Carolina will always be viewed as the other team looking up to Clemson always and things of that nature. But it wasn't that long ago. I realize this is 2022. It wasn't that long ago when South Carolina also had a streak against Clemson. And this is with both Taj Boyd and Deshaun Watson at the helm. So when the pendulum swings one way, it swings the other at some point. True Fist of the North Star. You need to watch that movie. Great anime, one of my favorites. Fist of the North Star. I think the narrator says that. The pendulum swinging back, power. All right, but check it out though. But I say that to say this. It's no longer just hype. It's no longer just hype. Yes, there's excitement around Spencer Rattler. There's excitement around the transfers and the talent that Beamer has accrued because he's put a product on the field that, hey, win, lose, or draw, there was no quit in any game that they played. Hey, most teams, when they're down, whatever to 0, you can kind of sense or feel when that team is like, the tackling isn't there. They're playing two-hand touch versus wrapping up. There's no intensity there. The intensity was there for all 12 games, regardless of how close those games were, regardless of whether we won or lost. So let's just break it down. We have to be more consistent. This I will say, we have to be more consistent. We have to get certain teams off our backs because we are inconsistent against them or have never beaten them. And yes, I'm speaking about Texas A&M. We have not beaten Texas A&M since they came into the SEC, I believe right around 2015. So yeah, they have their own little streak against us. Doesn't help our cause that they have the top recruiting class this year, but they are working with a new quarterback who decided to transfer. Works in our favor. Now, that doesn't take away from the talent that they have, but the quarterback, most would agree, is the most important position on the field. Where how well the quarterback does, that's a good indicator of how well the team will do. It's good and refreshing to kind of see the pundits around the country finally giving South Carolina some credit, some admiration, some recognition. Oh,
Bless my soul.
From Harry Potter, the little thing out there. One of the guys that I really respect is Josh Pate because he's objective. I don't know if he has a favorite college football team. He looks buff. He looks like he could actually play. So I'm not exactly sure, if he just, likes to work out and, he works out. But, he looks like, he just, he just wears, white shirts and simply because, they show his arms. He's like Vin Diesel. Almost, But you know what I mean. He wears white shirts. But he pretty much is acknowledging the fact that there is excitement and that there is, it's no longer just a, he did this, at South Carolina and, hats off to him, next story. Because it wasn't expected at South Carolina. It wasn't expected for us to win, the games that we won. But Vegas had us at 3, maybe 4 games. We won 7 games. More times often than not, we were not only underdogs, but we were double-digit underdogs. I think South Carolina was one of the best teams in the country that covered whatever spread going into whatever game they were going in, because it was like either they're going to win by, whatever, or if they lost, they're going to lose by whatever. I mean, there's just teams that we have to get off of our backs. Number one being Texas A&M. And right behind them, I would say Kentucky would be next, followed by Missouri. If we can at least win 2 out of those 3 games consistently, that improves our win total. Better bowl game, which means, recruits to say, hey, they not only made it to, a bowl game, but it's a New York 6 bowl game. It's one of the big ones and everything. So they're right on the cusp. You know how I like using my SAT words.
It's
Cusp.
so true.
of greatness. They're right there. They're a couple of wins away from having a season, whereas they're ranked highly and they're pretty much getting closer. Listen here, if Cincinnati can make it to the college football playoff, why can't South Carolina? Are you telling me that, Cincinnati has way more talent? And nothing to take away from Cincinnati, but there was a reason why there was so much, hypothesizing and things of that nature when it came to Cincinnati being in the college football playoff. I truly believe they deserve to be there because they play lights out football. They beat who they were supposed to beat. And just because they were from a group of 5, they shouldn't be in there. Hey, let's let a 2-loss team come in versus a 1-loss or an undefeated team. And, because they didn't really play the hard teams. Why can't South Carolina be the next Cincinnati? I mean, they're playing already in the toughest conference in college football. For one, they would have to go through, yes, Georgia, mainly. They would have to go through Florida, more likely Tennessee, Kentucky. So they have their fair share of obstacles, but it's not like South Carolina hasn't beaten them before. Really, the only team that South Carolina has not beaten, it seems, in the SEC is Texas A&M. If you really think about it, South Carolina has beaten just about every team in the SEC at least one time, with the exception of Texas A&M. So yes, spring practice is coming up and we need to be more consistent. That's it. End the video. Yep. That's it. Consistency, people. Consistency will lead to momentum, and momentum will take them from one game to the next to the next. So, with that being said, Gamecock Nation, you know what time it is. Get your popcorn ready. The Gamecocks are not hype. There's no hype around the Gamecocks. Maybe some hype videos. Those are awesome. But no, there's no more hype. There's no more speculation of what the Gamecocks can do. They've proven what they can do with injuries. We played like 4 quarterbacks last year. Most NFL teams don't even have 4 quarterbacks to play. Most NFL teams would fold under that type of, well, who's going to be the quarterback this year? This is game. I don't know. That guy in the 3rd row. Sure, bring him in. Can he throw 5 yards? He's in there. South Carolina did it with 4 quarterbacks. Our defense kept us in most games. The question will be, what would our defense be like this year? Our offense seems to have gotten a boost with Spencer Rattler and Tanner Bailey and Braden Davis in the fold as quarterbacks there. We'll have to see. But this is for, the tractors and other farm equipment out there. And the protractors, the detractors, the, any type of tractor. Gamecocks are not going to be national champions next year. But it's going to happen. You may not want it to happen, but it will. Look into my eyes. It will happen. And with that being said, spring practice is coming up. Check out, wait for new videos to come out regarding our schedule. I'm like, hey, took a look at the schedule. I think they say that we have the 10th, toughest schedule in the country. We'll have to see, take it game by game. Got an early test with Arkansas, so that's going to definitely test our mettle going into the Georgia game, but we have to kind of make sure that we do our due diligence and make sure that we just keep believing in the underdog. I'm your host, Cypher Da MC here. Another Gamecock video. Why can't we? Why can't we? Truth is, we can. Have a blessed one. I am out this thing. You know what it is. Cypher.
Into the cypher with your life.